Hello everyone, and Shavua Tov, we're going to start preparations for Passover, for Pesach. A question that is asked all the time before Passover, and even if it's not asked, I'm sure people ask it in their hearts. What's the whole big deal of Passover? What's the problem with the bread? The whole year we eat the bread, everything is okay. We even honor the bread so much. If a bread falls down, we kiss the bread and we make a kiddush with the bread, and we are respecting the bread, treating it very highly. However, when Passover comes, it looks like the Jews putting down the bread, burning the bread. They are searching all over to not have even some crumbs of bread. Why is that? What's the deep meaning behind it? Of course, we should know that every mitzvah, every commandment that is written in our holy Torah has a lot of reasons in different levels. Once I heard from my rabbi that every mitzvah, every commandment from the Torah has more than 5,001 reasons. And in every rabbinical mitzvah from the rabbis has more than 3,001 different reasons. One of the reasons that it brought down in the Zohar Kadosh, the holy book of Zohar about Passover, is that Pesach is a special day. Pesach basically is the birthday of the whole world, and especially the birthday of the Jewish nation. It's not just the birthday of the Jewish nation because we came out of Egypt, that's for sure. It's also the birthday of the whole world because according to one of the opinions in the Gemara on Masechet Rosh Hashanah, it says that the world was created on the month of Tishrei, which we celebrate Rosh Hashanah. However, Rabbi Yoshua, one of the great rabbis, says that the world was created on Passover. It was created on Nisan, on the month of Nisan, the month of Passover. Arizal asking, how come? Decide, what's the truth? Who is right? Rabbi Eliezer that says in Tishrei, or Rabbi Yoshua that says in Nisan? Says the Arizal, both are right. How come both are right? Because the body, the physical world, was created on Tishrei. However, the spirituality, the soul, the spiritual worlds were created on Nisan. And every year in the month of Nisan, and in the middle of the month, which is the middle of the month symbolized the highest place, the highest level of the month, this is the time when we renew our souls every year. And that's why the Leil HaSeder, this very, very special night, which is the most important night in the year, this night is basically a birthday of our soul. We get a new soul for the new year. And that's why it's so important to make all those halachot, all those laws, because all of them are helping us building the new soul that we will be basically having for the next year until next Passover. And that's why it's very important to get rid of the Chametz. Chametz is the bread. What's the bread symbolize? We know that the bread symbolizes the Zohar Kadosh, the Yetzer Hara, the evil inclination, symbolize the ego, the thing that we basically fight the most or need to fight the most in this world. God created us with a feeling, with a desire to be selfish, to think about ourselves. We have a lot of ego, even though we don't realize that sometimes. We think about ourselves, and after that we think about the whole world. This is in the birthday of the soul. Because we want to get a best soul we can to be closer to God, we have to get rid of what symbolizes the ego in the world, which is the bread. The bread rise. Bread, what makes it bread is that it rises. Matzah, for example, that we do eat on Pesach, and it's a mitzvah to eat it on Pesach, it doesn't rise. If it's rise, it's not good anymore because it symbolizes the ego, symbolizes the pride, the ga'ava, and therefore, when we get rid of the chametz in this world, the same thing is happening in our souls and in the upper worlds. Therefore, by searching the chametz, getting rid of the chametz, we're basically searching the ego, getting rid of the ego, and having a pure soul. And that's why it's so important. The Arizal says, one of the big Kabbalists 500 years ago, that according to your Pesach, according to us being careful in eating matzah and not eating chametz, the whole year will be affected by that. And he says, if a person would not eat even a crumb of chametz, or something that has even maybe a little bit of chametz, he will be so careful. He says that the whole year he would not come to make any sin. So all the sins that we do the whole year is affected by how we keep the Pesach. That's why a lot of tzaddikim, a lot of righteous people on Pesach, even though we are not obligating in doing different stringencies, they were doing chumrot, they were doing extra, more than what they need to do, more than what the Torah obligates to do, because they wanted to be careful that the whole year will be clean of sins, will be pure, and this is depend on Pesach. And that's why on Pesach, now we are a little bit less than 30 days before Pesach. We should prepare already from now and to start to search for Chametz, to see that we don't put big pieces of Chametz in different places that Chaz v'Shalom we may forget, and then it's going to be at home in Pesach, because on Pesach it says Lo yira'eh v'lo yimatzeh. The Chametz, the bread, should not be found, should not be owned by us. And that's why we are doing such an effort to search the Chametz and to get rid of the Chametz. But one last thing that we have to remember. Some people think that Pesach, it's a spring cleaning, and this is not right. On Pesach, we have to get rid of the Chametz. We don't have to get rid of the dust. And if you want on the way also to clean the house, that's very nice. But sometimes a lady or the family are getting frustrated because they are into the cleaning and everything, and it's very hard. There is so much to do, but then they come to anger, then they come to being disappointed because they didn't do much, or they didn't do whatever they wanted to do. They scream on the kids, or they scream on the husband, or they scream on the wife, and then this is the real Chametz is still in the house. The real Chametz, which is the Yetzer Hara, the evil inclination, the anger, the pride, the ego, is still in the house. Maybe you cleaned the dust but didn't clean the Chametz. When we're cleaning the Chametz, we have to understand we clean the physical Chametz, which is the bread. However, we have to clean also the spiritual Chametz, which is our bad midot, our character, which should be balanced and according to the Torah. I want to wish all of you, Bezrat Hashem, Shavua Tov, Amen ve'amen.